So inevitably, we gave Marco a script. He completely ignored the script. He gave away all of the secrets for the next hour or so. So forget everything you just heard. Let us bring the surprises to you now. So thank you, Marco. Welcome, everybody, to Devcon 2025. Today, we're kicking Devcon off with all the cool new stuff that we've launched recently that's coming soon. We really hope you enjoy all of these treats.
Yeah, it's amazing to see you all here today again. You're gonna see everything we've been working on for the long year and everything that you will be able to try out before the year ends. And we have so much to show you.
We certainly do. And we're starting with the stuff that this room, our developers, will appreciate the most. We're starting with two of the biggest technical leaps we've ever made. First, let's talk about Jakarta. So, as you probably know, starting with the 2025 Q3 release, Liferay DXP is now built on Jakarta EE10.
Yes, and this is more than a housekeeping update. It's getting Liferay into a new tech stack that is more secure, is cloud native, and it's lightweight.
For you, this means a platform that's more secure, more performant, and future-proofed as the old Java EE app servers reached end of life. And for us, it unlocks faster feature development and more rapid security fixes. It's the foundation for everything that we're going to show you today.
Yeah, and of course, we know what this means. This means migration. But we are not going to leave you alone with it. Let me introduce you, and we are proud to say that we have this Jakarta migration tool and the supporting field guide.
Thank you. So this new Blade and Workspace tool, along with the field guide, is designed to make transitions seamless. The tool handles in-place source code transformation, Liferay-specific dependency mapping, and even Portlet 4.0 conversion. We are with you every step of the way. To learn more, please make sure you attend Victor Ware's talk tomorrow on upgrading to Jakarta EE, where he'll provide all of the details you need on the Jakarta portlets, Jakarta Faces Bridge, and Portlet MVC for Spring.
Yeah. So that's a new foundation, but that's not the only finally moment we have for you today. Ben, I want to make you a question. What would you say is the most sensitive moment a project goes through, where the stress skyrockets and everyone is on edge?
I think I know where you're going. That situation that every admin and developer has gone through, that painful cross your fingers moment, promoting content, going live.
Yeah, this year, we took a totally new approach, a new mindset, and it actually works.
We have completely re-architected content promotion from the ground up. We've moved away from the existing staging models to a new, modern, batch-based infrastructure using our headless APIs.
But to let us introduce how Liferay is becoming fully portable, let us introduce you to the mastermind behind it, Alejandro Tardin. Hey, Alex. How are you feeling?
Hi, everybody. No pressure, Julia. Well, as you know, there is no single mastermind behind any of what we do in Liferay. It's all a product of teamwork, especially in this case. In my 9 years in Liferay, this has been the widest effort, the biggest collaboration between teams that I've seen. It's been actually a crazy year. It all started with, let's fix staging, right? Easy problem, no pressure. And then someone put this fancy name like promote, and it's been all year, let's promote content, promote. So I think Julia asked me how I feel. I feel it's November, right? And that's time of annual reviews. So what about a promotion for all of us that have worked on this? Marco, Brian? Okay, so what does it mean to make Liferay fully portable, right? So that's the goal of this project, and let's try to provide an answer. So it means more entities and scopes. So we've widening the support for all our data model. So you should be able now to go live easier than ever with everything you need, right? Not only inside level. We've added support for objects inside virtual instance level. We've added support for roles, accounts, organizations, you name it. So the support is wider than ever. It means also fault tolerance. So we've re-architected the export-import framework, as they said with the batch framework. I think I saw Igor here, Igor Veslic. He was one of the fathers of batch framework, and he went to build his own company. So I hope we treated your child well, Igor. So yeah, we've re-architected the way the export-import process handles errors. And that means that if something goes wrong, now Liferay will let you know and give you the power to fix it, okay? You will no longer be blocked. The process will keep going, collecting issues as they happen, and then present them in a nice and friendly UI that we've called the import report, okay? So here you can see how many items were processed, which ones were successful, errors, missing references, and then go into detail, okay? You'll see more about this later. But the key thing here is that you will no longer be blocked, okay? We built this around the concept of lazy referencing, which allows us to support incomplete states that can be manually reviewed and fixed later. So it means no more roadblocks, okay? If something goes wrong, Liferay will hold your hand and let you fix it. This image is not a coincidence. You will understand why in the next talk. So I'd love to give you more details, but I don't want to spoil my teammates' talk right after this one. Carlos and Pablo will give you all the details and tell you all about this. And if you just can't get enough, tomorrow there is a workshop by another couple of teammates, well, 3 actually, Wendell, Danny, and Alberto, and they will go into much more detail, show you code, how it works, how it fails, and it's going to be awesome. And that's it. And one more thing, okay. We've also added support, well, make it easier than ever to get to our cloud. We've developed a tool for Liferay instance migration that will allow you to go from self-hosted to PaaS, from PaaS to SaaS, and to wherever you go, okay? It's based on database partitioning, a really cool technology. I don't know if you know about it, but there's going to be tomorrow, I think, another talk by Jorge, that's a very Spanish name, Jorge and Mariano. And they are really good speakers. You will love their talk. So that's it on my side, Julia. I think you guys can continue.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you. So, a blank screen, a big pause. This is coming. This is big. This is really big. This is like as big as King Kong or Godzilla or that moment when you first saw the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. It's the new CMS.
Exactly. So we have this incredibly strong foundation, and on top of it, we didn't just update our CMS, we built a new one.
And it's worth asking why. Why a new CMS? For decades, there's been this endless battle between two groups: developers versus marketers. Now, before I offend anybody, maybe it's the other way around. I mean, just because the dudes on the right have got nicer coats, it doesn't mean they're marketers.
Yeah, that's the battle. I mean, not the clothes one, but, you know, marketing teams want autonomy. They want to create, publish, and run campaigns fast without going through IT for every single change.
And developer teams want flexibility while maintaining governance. They want to use their preferred tools, their frameworks within a modern composable architecture. They hate being locked into proprietary templates. They also want marketing teams to be autonomous, but without needing to fix content, fix pages, fix sites every day just because somebody felt innovative that day.
So who wins? Is the marketer who gets easy tools but not flexibility, or the developer who gets a raw API but not tools for the business?
So this year we're ending the battle. The answer is both. We built our new CMS to do both perfectly. We're giving marketers the intuitive tools and the autonomy that they've always dreamed of.
Yeah, and we are giving developers the powerful, headless, API-first platform they need. It's truly composable. You can build on it, integrate it, and use whatever frontend you want.
It's about giving teams efficiency to reuse content everywhere and the governance to control it.
Yeah, exactly. Think about the use cases. We have a global communications agency that needs to centralize their brand assets while keeping the autonomy of the regional teams to manage their own content. Or we can have, that was the first one. Or you can think about a B2C company that needs to deliver the product descriptions and promos to their website, their mobile app, or their in-store kiosks, all from one single source. So this is what we mean by digital governance and agility. We are empowering teams, breaking down silos, and expediting the time to life of all your content.
And we're doing it with an entirely new look and feel and user experience, and it looks beautiful. So please let us introduce you to John Wood, our Director of Product Design.
Everyone, it's great to be here. Thank you, Ben, for the introduction. To address those use cases and also to deliver a renewed user experience, we have to start from the beginning, and that means deep user research. So we had to look at how is our product being used, what are those patterns, get feedback from users to really understand the biggest pain points our users are facing and the product gaps that we've left. So what do we find? Maybe this looks familiar to you, but yeah, we can humbly admit that there are friction points in our existing CMS where there's inconsistencies as far as creating content, managing content, and not only that, there's limitations in terms of searching and filtering. Creating content structures has some limitations there as well. Collaborating on projects is difficult across teams. Problems all over the place. And with that, we had to reimagine the CMS experience from the ground up. So we have a few key areas we focused on, and I want to cover some of them. First is we modernized the interface. We evolved the visual design to have a lighter, cleaner look and feel. We wanted to apply more white space intentionally, not just for aesthetic purposes, but to reduce the cognitive load. We want our users to be able to focus on the primary task that is at hand, and that is going to match the transformation that the CMS offers. With the new homepage, we also have revamped our navigation experience fully. You can see we have a new product menu, and with that, the priority here was clarity. It was about efficiency. It was about helping our users to intuitively navigate and find the pages, the features that they need in order to manage their content at scale. While users are navigating throughout the new CMS, we want to make sure they stay productive. And we don't want to block them. We don't want to keep them stuck on a certain screen. And so we introduced bulk actions that will take place asynchronously. This is accessible and easily convenient in the top bar, no matter where you are in the product. Our team is particularly proud that we designed new CMS with accessibility first. It was a foundational requirement for us. And with that, we really invested in applying best practices of accessible patterns and validations in order to meet today's accessibility standards. The CMS is built with semantic HTML, meaning that it's screen reader friendly, fully accessible by keyboard. And so we can see here we introduced new focus states. We've improved our contrast ratios to make sure that it's an inclusive experience for all users. Going back to the inconsistencies, we recognize that there's certain patterns that don't really match throughout the CMS experience, and so we had to look at those critical components, unifying them. One of them is our item selector. It's now more powerful, more accessible, and is standardized throughout our products. From our user feedback as well, we knew that there was much improvement that could be done to our structure builder. And so we did that, and we wanted to improve the usability of this particular feature. And we introduced this new tree component within the UI, reducing the number of clicks, and addressing some of those confusing behaviors that we had in the old structure builder. One thing that we prioritize as designers and our whole team is to make sure that the workflow becomes more seamless for users. And so one example we have is if I'm already setting up a content structure, navigating from the content structure over to actually customizing the editor experience is a seamless workflow that we thought about as a user flow. That's just one example that we have. That was really quick, I know, but we have much more to share. We have more UX improvements to come in the coming months. But for now, I want to pass it back to Ben and Julia to show you more highlights. Thank you.
Thank you, John. That was great to see how much we've innovated, also related to design.
So all of it starts with an easy onboarding process. We've simplified the setup of repositories, which we now call spaces, for teams to easily create the ones they need, invite members, and start working. The new CMS allows you to create the structure that you need to meet your organizational requirements. Departments, countries, types of assets, sites. You can create as many spaces as you want and connect them the way that you need.
Yeah, and then another pain point that content teams usually have, it's about finding the right content when they need it, no matter what it is. So that's why we created this all assets section, where you can access all your content across repositories, regardless of their type, and you can filter by your preferred criteria, and also perform actions in bulk, like categorize, auto-translate, or expire assets. Easy.
And not only that, but to help you with auditing content, we've added in-context metrics everywhere. A specific section to track and monitor your content strategy, filter by category, filter by status, filter by type, and more. And performance metrics to track views, clicks, and downloads across your channels.
Yeah, and then paired with our CMS is our DAM for you to manage all the files that you need that are involved in your project in a visual and intuitive way. So you can do bulk uploads, version control, and have multiple file views for you to have everything at hand.
So it's the most powerful CMS we've ever built. But that's a lot of talk. This is where it's going to get real.
Yeah.
Seeing is believing. So to show you what this really looks like, really live in action, no pressure, no stress, please welcome one of the leaders of this massive team initiative, Luis Jardim.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Julia. It's very good to be here again on Devcon with all of you. So for years, you have been asking us CMS that is as powerful for developers and is good and easy to use for marketeers, right? And with that said, I will show you a live demo because why not? Thank you, Marco, for the suggestion. So let's jump into the demo now. Okay. So first, let's talk a little bit about how to access the new Liferay CMS, okay? So you just need to go to Instance Settings and enable the feature flag, and then this new section is going to appear for you in here. It should in here. So let's see. Okay, in here. So I have already preset CMS. So this new section here on top is going to appear for you, and then you'll be able to access the home page. But one thing that's important to notice is that one thing doesn't limit the other. So you can use the new CMS and keep using the current as well in parallel. So please test and share some feedback with us. So let's start with the home page, right? So here you have some shortcuts. You can access some of the structures that you have already built. You have some recent activity of your users to check what is happening on your team. And also, they already know workflow tasks assigned to you or assigned to your role, right? So something else that is very nice to highlight, it's about spaces. So spaces are kind of a scope for your content that you can also understand like repositories of content where you're organizing your content for your teams to make sure the right people have access to the right content, right? So here in the home page, you have some recent activity around content, around files, and you can also manage membership. So membership is basically a way for you to organize who have access to what. And of course, you can configure here on top the default permissions of those members, so you don't need to be worrying every time you add someone. And you also can not only add users, but of course, user groups. Next, you have the connected sites or connected channels, right? So right now, you can connect to any Liferay site to make sure that this content is available for you to create experiences, create pages, and use this content in those sites. So now that we know what a space is, what the new CMS is as well, let's go to structured content. So we know that we always need to ensure quality and also standardization of our content, and the structured content is the way we are using to do this, right? So we want the content creators to follow those structures to make sure that you have the content that you're expecting. So when you're creating those type of structures, you have two main types here, the content type and the file type. Depending on the type they're selecting, Liferay is going to auto-generate for you some basics to make sure that they are fitting this purpose, right? So let's jump into this recipe structure that I already built before because I'm not crazy. So here you can define, differently from the previous structures that we had in Liferay, now you have a more horizontal way to create your structured content. Now you can make this structure available in many spaces at the same time. So once you're updating and evolving, it's going to get updated everywhere that's available, right? Something else that's also nice to highlight is the workflow process. So before you need to go to a different place, but now you can come here, define the full workflow for your structure, but also specify in case you need to specify one for each different space. So here as well, you can, of course, add your fields, the structure, like the fields that your structure is going to have, and also configure some additional configurations that you might have, some maybe out-of-the-box validations, right? You can also make those fields repeatable, as you can see here in ingredients. And you can also add some embedded structure in case you want to reuse any structure embedded in another one, right? But what is the magic here? Everything, it's aligned with our Liferay strategy of building Liferay with Liferay. So behind the scenes here, we are actually generating objects. So all the power of objects are also available when you're building structures in the new CMS. So what that means? It means that as a developer, you can create new additional actions. You can go to the object admin and create additional validations, leverage client extensions, and you can also, of course, leverage all the auto-generated APIs that are generated for you automatically. So a little bit about objects. Later today, you're going to have a talk of my friends Ana and Gabriel. What's up, Liferay Objects? So stay tuned to check the latest improvements we have done there. So once you created your structure, you're going to customize your editor experience. And here you can see again another tool that you're already familiarized in Liferay, which is the page builder. Again, aligned with our strategy. So here, you're leveraging fragments, widgets. You can customize them as you are used to, and also access Marketplace, for example, to leverage some already built from our community fragments, right? So you can use these, you can customize as you want. Those are normal fragments. It's not different. We're really reusing the tool. But this is not a mandatory step because we're already building, auto-generating for you everything. So you don't really need to do this. And if you regret maybe you do something, you can at any time come here on top and reset to the auto-generated one. Talking also a little bit about the page builder, we're going to have a talk tomorrow, a deep dive on all the effort that we are making on making the page fully headless. And tomorrow, my friends Lourdes and Ruben are going to talk about headless meets pages presentation that I suggest you to go. Okay, then. Now we spoke about structured content. Let's talk about taxonomy, right? Let's talk about categorization. Here, I won't extend myself so much because at the end, it's the same framework, but we have been doing some investments that are interesting. For example, same as structure, now you can also manage those categories or vocabularies in a more horizontal way, making sure that they are available in multiple spaces and you don't need to be duplicating things that you already know that you need, right? So it's, of course, a brand new user experience. We're investing as well in making more portable, so you can also use a lot from the headless API as much as you want. So now we spoke about, we configure a CMS, right? We created our spaces, we created our structures, we created our categories. So now let's go to the actual content. So as Julia said, one very key piece of the new CMS is the all content and file section. So here is basically a place where you're seeing all your content, all the content that you have available for you in a single place. So it's easy to filter, easy to search in a single place. Of course, that you also can go to your space, but here it's a way for you to horizontally see everything, right? So one thing to highlight here as well is that all the tables in the new CMS are actually data sets that you can also extend. You can change the columns. You can change the filters. You can change the rendering. So what's going later today, Gerardo and Dani are going to have a talk on dataset Mission Possible, and he's going to teach exactly how to do this, and also tomorrow with Fabian on more advanced use cases. So let's go to one of the content that I created on top of that structure you just saw. So here, in honor of Marco, Carbonara, right? So here you can check that like exactly the page that we just built, the experience with all the repeatable fields and all, right? So as well, you have here in the sidebar, you have things like the versioning that you are, the scheduling, expiration date, all the categories, like the commenting, and do everything from the single place, right? So once that you're done, you're going to publish, maybe schedule, or maybe publish directly. And if you have a workflow schedule, it's going to go through the workflow process as you already know in Liferay. So back to the list. Let's go to one of the specifics so you can see how the list of content works for inside of a specific space, right? So something that we have been investing a lot is about standardization. So now all your structures have the same types of actions available, of course. Just a little difference if it's a file because you cannot download a content. But here it's like, I want to highlight just some of the features that we have right now. For example, sharing capability, right? So if you want to share your content with someone that's not part of your space, you can now. You just need to come here, add them, define what permissions you want to grant them, and also even like an expiration date for these permissions, right? Once that you do, even if this person doesn't have access to that space, it's going to appear and they will be able to access in the Share With Me section. I'm just not showing because I'm an admin, so I don't have anything that I don't have access to, so it doesn't make sense. So let's see, some other actions that we can highlight here. You have a view mode now that's read-only. You also have access to the info panel. From here, you can directly see the content read-only. You can categorize, you can check performance, you can comment and see the versions, right? So it's a way for you to quickly see, quickly comment, and quickly interact with the content as much as you want, right? What else? History, right? Like versioning. So here you can check all the versions from your content. You can configure for how long do you want to keep those versions, how many versions you want to keep, and so on. You can preview, you can restore, you can expire, and so on. Like all the framework that you already know, but here in a much more, let's say, friendly experience. I think it's also nice to highlight the copy and move. So here's like, in case you want to reorganize how your content is distributed between the spaces, you can use this to move things around and reorganize your content in a way that makes sense for you, right? Permissions and so on. So lastly, about this piece is like, as Julia mentioned, when you're selecting multiple, you can apply some bulk actions. It's going to vary depending on the types of assets that you're selecting because, again, it's not all the actions that are going to be available for everything, but here you can check them. So you can categorize in bulk, you can do those type of things. And lastly, to close the demo, almost perfectly, I hope. So we have the dashboard, right? Like here you can see like an overall overview of your CMS. You can see how much content is being created in the latest period. You can see the inventory. You can check by filter by space. You can filter by language. You can filter by category. And you can also manage expired assets here, seeing what you have. Maybe you have some action to take in one of those, and you can check in here. So I'm done with the demo. You see, Marco, no errors, I promised, you know. As Julia mentioned and also mentioned briefly, this is a fully headless product, which means that you can manage the content inside of Liferay, but you can also distribute anywhere that you want, right? And here, for example, is an example, okay, thank you. It's an example of Vercel frontend that we built. We have integration already for this, that you're managing the content inside of Liferay, and that gets automatically updated inside of your Vercel technology, right? So here you see an example of creating a Devcon blog post with photos, subtitles, you're publishing. And once you do, and you go back to your front end, update again. And then you have the updated, and not only, but you also can read the details because you pre-built this, and you can leverage this everywhere, right? So That's what I had ready for you today, but I also want to give you a little peek of what is coming, right? There are two things that we're working that are going to change everything. So the first one is about planning and collaboration capabilities. Here we're talking about like peer collaboration, right? Like making sure that you can coordinate your campaigns, making sure that you can understand who is responsible for what, by when, assigning tasks, visually seeing how this is the progress of your project, and also collaborate in the same content, right? Not only being able to see the same content, but concurrent editing, live editing, and making sure that you can truly collaborate with your peers. And second, the one that you all have been waiting for, AI agents. Not those agents, of course. I mean, we're not as cool as Agent Smith here, but we're trying to build something as cool as, close enough, let's say. So this is not about only another text generator. So the idea here is to provide for you agents that works for you and that adapts to your context. So depending on where you are in your content creation flow, you can leverage the tools that are going to be distributed across the product to make sure that you can get the help you need. So for example, here's the AI assistant example, and you have a bunch of actions that you have available for you because you are in the editor mode. So here you can generate the text for the entire content or for specific fields. You can auto-translate, you can auto-tag, ask for SEO suggestions, and so on. But if you're now in the file section, of course, you want to probably generate an image or something, right? So you can generate the image, auto-tagging, and so on as well. But that's not all. We want also to add some other AI agents throughout the product to make sure that you guys can leverage when you're actually needing that help, right? So with that said, this is the new Liferay CMS, right? This is like a single place for all your assets. This is a perfectly customized editor experience. This is all embedded analytics on it, and with AI and collaboration coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis. It's huge.
Huge. And the demo worked. I mean, how good is that?
Yeah, and that seamless, intelligent experience is exactly what we're bringing to the rest of the platform, including commerce.
Because commerce is where automation and customer experience truly meet.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why this year, commerce is not just composable, it's becoming smarter.
And to show you what's new, please welcome Senior Product Manager for Commerce, Giulio Nobile.
Thank you, Ben.
Go, go.
Hello, everyone. Actually, ciao, everyone. So the focus for commerce this year has been very clear. You need to be able to sell smarter, not harder. So the first thing we did is actually enable you with this virtual sales assistant, which is obviously AI-powered, because we know that when a buyer buys, his journey doesn't end with the checkout. They need to be able to get answers on their item post-purchase. So this is where this new AI chatbot is actually going. And it will help you to answer questions like, where is my order? How do I return an item? And you see it's super easy and fast. And what is important here is that not only this allows buyer to be happier because they get the answer right away, they self-serve, but also it will lower your costs, operational costs. No tickets, no answer, no emails. So much faster. So this is the first thing, and the idea is to go from just selling to caring for your buyers. But it doesn't stop there. We also wanted to give you flexibility. Flexibility because we know B2B commerce experiences, especially the complex one, now they want to feel as effortlessly, as smooth as B2C. To do so, we did some pretty interesting things. So the first one is guest checkout. So you have the ability to proceed as guest, as a B2B, or to log in and to connect to your account. What does this mean? That you can either no login and you move forward, or you can have your account created right there and reconciled easily which was something that we knew was important for commerces. And the next thing is the ability from buyers to enable them to receive orders in multiple locations, because we discovered that there are some ways, sometimes people, they need to receive an item here and an item in my other, warehouse, or maybe just in different dates. So they can do it in the checkout very easily, and they can have 5 different addresses or 5 different delivery dates. And this is all buyer-initiated. And last but not least, we also have a new option for buyers to upload their own logos or brand or custom design in the product itself, so they don't need to send it to you through an attachment in an email. It's just there for them in the checkout. So this is all about making their life easier, even if they are B2B, even if they have very complex needs. But we are not done. We didn't forget about the admins, right? Because we know how hard it is to manage this kind of B2B commerce. So the first thing is we thought, okay, what if you're worried about taxes? Taxes are complex. Sure, we created the Stripe tax connector. It's now ready for you to be used. And it allows to calculate all taxes, even the most complex one, directly in checkout. And what if you have complex inventory? Imagine that you only need to have some type of account to be able to buy items from a specific warehouse. No problem. We create the eligibility also for warehouses. So right now, you can select which account can access your inventory in a specific location. So there is no problem. You can have your VIP user having your item always ready for them. And imagine that you need more payment flexibility, especially worldwide flexibility. Obviously, we allowed you to do it with PayPal Checkout Connector, which is in our marketplace, and it's worldwide flexibility for payment for your clients. We have a lot more going on. We did personalized order pages. We did personalized account selection. So you can really customize your experience at the level of your users, not just the account. But please, go later today. There is a speech from Rosalind Markets and Juan Pablo Montero, and they are speaking about a real use case of applying all this flexibility to an enterprise example. So go later is the last speech today. So what we did in the end is just this. We gave you tools that are flexible for your buyers, they are powerful for your admins, and they are smarter than ever. So essentially, we're giving you the simplicity for complex use cases. And that's what all commerce has been about. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Julia.
Thank you, Julia.
Fantastic. Great stuff.
Yeah, and all this innovation shows just what the core platform can do. But we also know we are stronger together. And a great platform needs a great ecosystem.
And this year, our ecosystem has become more powerful than ever. And this is getting really easy for you and me, isn't it? Because to tell you all about it, please welcome Bernard.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. So this year has been a really big year for us in terms of partnerships. And we're working with a number of industry leaders to give you guys even more capabilities when you're building out your solutions on LifeRay. And the first one I want to talk about is Camunda. We're bringing together LifeRay's digital experience builder with Camunda's advanced agentic orchestration. And so what this does for you, it gives you that ability when you're creating your experiences with LifeRay to, at the back end, use their agentic orchestration so they can handle all of those complex processes, all of that data, all of those tasks, and make sure that they're handled efficiently and flawlessly at scale. By bringing LifeRay and Camunda together, you're not just streamlining your operations, you're bringing a more connected, dynamic business that's ready to innovate and grow. We've worked together on an off-the-shelf integration, which is based on the objects framework, and that allows you to connect your internal automation with more people in their external world. We're also delighted to have them here as Devcon sponsors, so I definitely encourage you all to pop along to the booth. There's a number of talks talking about different applications and how we brought them together. Now, next up, I'm going to talk about an existing partner that we've worked with for a number of years, but we've been working this year to strengthen that relationship. And I'm really happy to share that Liferay has been awarded Build Partner of the Year by Elastic. And yeah. So this is recognizing that by embedding Elastic in our search solution, that we are really leading the industry in this. And that's not all. I've got some really good news to announce for any of our Liferay Enterprise Search customers. We're going to be upgrading that from the existing Platinum subscription that you get with Elastic Foods to the Enterprise product. And this is going to unlock even more AI-powered capabilities in search. And Tibor will be doing a talk later on that, and he's going to dive into some of those additional capabilities now we're going to be able to use with the Enterprise Search version. Next up, as Louise mentioned and showed briefly earlier on, we've been working with Vercel. You probably know them as the Next.js people, but we're working with them to deliver better experiences for any of you that are using Liferay headlessly. It's especially important for our new CMS, and Vercel is a perfect match for that. And we're in the process of releasing 3 new templates on their marketplace that are connecting in to the new CMS to allow you to publish content, blogs, and products very, very easily. They're going to be available at the end of this month. And you'll be able to leverage them to build sort of scalable performance sites on Vercel that's beautifully connected into Liferay. Now, onto our own marketplace. The title slide here really sort of says it all. There's a twin value proposition in the marketplace. For our customers, it's a way for them to get faster time to value by leveraging sort of tried and tested solutions that are there. But for developers, and most of you guys in the room, it's a way for you to distribute what you're doing better, and it's a source of revenue, helping you to monetize all of your sort of digital experience expertise. We recognize to sort of properly serve this year, the marketplace had to evolve, and there's a number of things we've done this year to give it a significant upgrade. So we've revamped the user experience, and that's focused on making app discovery easier, more intuitive and visual. This design also allows us to better highlight individual apps and solutions and put spotlights on publishers as well. And you guys know that the Liferay platform has been changing, so we have to support other ways of deploying and distributing that code. So it's not just now about OSGI modules. There's support for client extensions, for no-code configurations, and composite apps that are combining these all together to allow you to build more comprehensive application solutions and share them using the latest Liferay frameworks. But the big change isn't happening with what you can find in the marketplace, it's where you can find it. Our goal has been to bring the marketplace to where people actually really need to use it. And that's why you can see here in the page editor, you can see that you're not just seeing the fragments that ship with the XP. You can see marketplace fragments, and they're available for you to actually install and drag and drop onto the page in real time. So this is where content authors need to use them. This is massively changing how easy it is for people to discover components in the marketplace. And it's already available for fragments and available for payment methods, and we're going to be expanding that out even further. And speaking of fragments, if any of you who might have come late might have missed it, but we're running a fragments competition here at Devcon as well, and you're going to have a chance to win some snazzy prizes. So there will be a talk by Kevin Leone later today, and he's going to go through how it is that you publish apps in the marketplace. And that's a way for you, and he'll showcase how you can actually enter this competition, do it. There's information on the Devcon site. There should be information in the app as well about how to do it. But yeah, I encourage all of you. I know many people in this room, we've seen some of the amazing things you can do, and what we want with the marketplace is to share that to the world. Okay, and like this is what we're trying to do overall with Marketplace. It's about evolving it from just a storefront into a way of accelerating all of these projects that everyone is doing in LifeRay today. Thank you all.
Bueno, ahora les pido para entrar. Gracias. Ahora se me oye.
Who was talking? So thank you, Bernard. Great information that we've had already today. We've talked about the new CMS. We've talked about the new design paradigm. We've talked about commerce. Now we talked about marketplace. We talked about fragments. Now onto a topic that we're really excited about. And he asked me not to use this term, but I'm going to anyway, so no pressure at all. To present it, we need to hand the floor to our resident cloud genius. Please welcome Misael Neto.
Come on, come on. Hey. Good to be back at Devcon. No, I don't think so. We're good. How many of you have ever deployed LifeRay into production? By show of hands, come on. Come on, I know more people did it. Okay, so a good amount of people. So you know the hurdles. It's not as simple as just grabbing your non-slim and deploying locally, because you got everything up and running for you to develop. And that's good, it's there for you. But when you think about deploying into the cloud, you think about creating your VPCs, creating your environments, hooking everything up. And then you have to have your disaster recovery environment. And then CI/CD to keep keep your products up to date, keep your projects up to date. You have to think about networking, how the traffic's going to come in, WAF, a bunch of things. And that's a hurdle. That's a hurdle that LifeRay is willing to address for self-hosted customers, people that are deploying into their clouds, into AWS, Azure, GCP, or in your own Kubernetes. We're providing you with Terraform tools, with Helm charts, and GitOps facilities for you to run your LifeRay in the cloud without the hassle, without overthinking, removing the hurdle for deploying into the cloud. And we're actually making it a little bit simpler than what we have on our own cloud, because we want to leverage the power of what the big cloud providers already provide. So our standard way of deploying LifeRay, AWS ready, Azure ready, and GCP ready, we're going to provide it to you and recommend you to use it. So what is that, actually? You might have seen it if you're a developer. If you've ever run into a Terraform, it looks like this. But it's not so nice, right, to think about all these different configurations and values. And we're trying to even simplify, at least for the initial experience with our tools, to get your feet wet, to provide you with scripts to make it easier for you to run your Terraforms for the first time. So this is a simple script that simply injects some of the values into the Terraforms and Helm charts, so you don't have to think about, at least when you're getting your feet wet. When you're more experienced, of course, you're going to tweak it, you're going to make it your own, you're going to extend your Terraforms and Helm charts. But for now, look at it. You could think about what cloud you want. So let's say AWS, and then maybe deploying in East 1. You think about the name of your project, the number of pods that you're going to run, let's say 2. And let's think about how much CPU and memory you want to run. So you know the drill. So what happens there is, once this is executed, I'm not going to run because I just tested it early this morning, and it broke my other environment. So if I hit enter right now, I'll go to bits. I don't want to do that. And it replaces, like I said, a bunch of values and variables that you have in your Terraform and Helm chart. And what it gives you is this. This is Rancher connected to a cluster. You get Argo CD, you get your LifeRay Dev, your LifeRay Prod, and a bunch of listeners that are sending logs into your CloudWatch and your preferred tools like Grafana. So, and it all starts with simply pushing your code. Because when you do that, when you push, and I'm going to show the code that I actually push, it's not a great code, but a build is generated. And once the build is generated, once this is green, it actually sends that build into your registry, your repository. So it's available. It can be closed, it can be public or private. You take that, that build and you apply it to your where is it? Because the light is really on my face. I'm trying to find, oh, here it is. So here's my custom build with my OSGI module that I built. It's not Liferay, it's my own. And what it is actually a theme contributor that attempts a dark mode very badly. So sorry, Marcos, front-end infra, you guys. And I think the best part of it was, oh, I'm logged in. The widget that comes out when you sign in, that was a neat accomplished by me and ChatGPT, where we tried to create a dark mode for this. So anyway, so Argo is deployed, as I said, and it monitors your environments. It tries always to sync up your environment with what you declared, because YAML files are manifest. They tell you what you want to run. And you can even configure Argo to always keep your environments in sync with what you deployed, in a way that if you even try or attempt to execute a kubectl command and change your configuration, it will force it back to the original state. So really trying to always keep you steady and secure. So this is my dev environment. This is my prod environment. This is my Grafana running with live data coming in. And you can see, well, I'm logged out. Logs coming in. I'm also logged out from here. And yep. So in other words, you get most of the features that you already have in PaaS. Let's think about it. Your backup is there because your infrastructure as a service provider already provides you with, by the way, this is connected to RDS. You can choose whatever database you want, but it's connected to RDS. So you could take your backups, your snapshots, and we have CI/CD, so we have builds and deploy. Once you push your value here for your dev environment, what's going to happen is it's going to deploy. It's the CD part. It's telling Argo. Argo is actually going to keep looking into the environment that you're deploying this to or pushing your code. And Argo has a key to my GitHub. It has an SSH key. And every 3 minutes, it looks up and says, hey, is there anything different? And then it recognizes the difference and then pulls it in. So most of this is POC. What we have currently in the repo is not as ready and sophisticated as this, but it's a good POC. So anyway, that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you.
Fantastic, Miseo. Excellent. Amazing progress that we're making. What an incredible set of innovations. Yeah. And that's our 2025 platform. And actually, before we do this bit, maybe we should explain that disembodied voice that you heard at the last handover.
So I'm sorry I didn't come out on stage before, but I just got trapped by the entire code rack back there. So I started like, help, help. And then the girls at the cloakroom helped me, and then the security guy came in to just get me out of all that mountain of codes. So that's why I was there and I was not here. So I'm sorry for that. And so you hear my gracias when they got me out, right? I asked them to take me a picture because you wouldn't believe the story, but it's true. So you can ask them later. Anyway, we are back. So we are getting to the end. But Ben, I feel like we're forgetting something.
Forgetting?
I don't know. Yeah, that one topic everyone has been asking for the whole year at every single event, and Marco has done a spoiler on.
Did the spoiler.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think we have one more thing.
Yeah. This year, we're not just adding AI features, we are launching our complete, thoughtful suite for enterprise AI. We are introducing the Liferay AI Hub.
We all know the challenge. Integrating AI is complex, it's expensive, and out-of-the-box models know nothing about your business.
Yeah, they don't have your context, right? So they don't know your users, your brand guidelines, or your security rules. Today, we are solving that.
So the AI Hub is your new SaaS command center for everything AI. It's designed to do two things. First, for our developers, we're providing the MCP server.
Yeah, and that's the Model Context Protocol you're going to find as a beta feature in the new release coming in November 26th, if I'm not mistaken. So the MCP is the secure intelligence layer that connects your LLM, whatever LLM of your choice, be it Gemini, OpenAI, or your own LLM, to your Liferay data.
So it transforms your DXP into an AI-ready platform, allowing the LLM to get secure, private context while enforcing all of your Liferay permissions.
Yeah, so the AI gets your context. And if you want to know more about the MCP, tomorrow at Alex and Peteri talk, making Liferay AI ready through an MCP server, you can know more and see that in action.
But that's not all. We're also giving you a way to use AI right away for any Liferay product and use case that you have. And that's really where the AI Hub comes into play.
Yeah. So this is a game changer. It's designed to do two things. It allows users, on one hand, to select and configure agents from a suite of Liferay managed agents that are ready to use for different business use cases in the different Liferay products, like, for example, the content optimization that Luis just showed us, or the virtual sales assistant that Julia demoed before.
It also provides a visual drag-and-drop studio that empowers business users and developers to create powerful AI agents that are deeply integrated with their Liferay data and processes. You can build an agent that summarizes support tickets from your portal, or an agent that personalizes content recommendations based on Analytics Cloud data. You build the agent, and the AI Hub handles the rest, the security, the governance, and the cost monitoring. It's a true platform multiplier.
Yes. So keep an eye on everything that's happening at Devcon related to AI. Later today, our Diamond sponsor, Google, will be presenting a talk that is called Accelerating Development with Google Gemini. And tomorrow we have a whole section, everything about AI-powered search, commerce, and more, including a fantastic tool you will love. Because we've been hearing from our front-end developers, and you love your design tools, right?
You love Figma, but you don't love the tedious manual work of recreating those beautiful designs pixel by pixel in Liferay.
Yeah, so we heard you. And so we built Design to Liferay.
This is incredible. You give it your Figma design, it uses AI to analyze the layout, identify components, and it automatically generates Liferay fragments and pages. No more tedious translation, just design, convert, and go. If you want to know more, make sure you attend Mahmoud's Design to Liferay, Converting Web UIs into Native Liferay Experiences deep dive tomorrow.
Yes. So this is our vision, using AI to automate the tedious and empowering you to build the intelligent. This is the Liferay AI Hub. And if you want to participate in this early program where you can have access to webinars, information, and also beta releases of all these features we've seen, not for the CMS that it's already there for the Q4, but for the AI Hub and others we will be presenting tomorrow, you can just submit the form and we will be contacting you for different type of sessions. So, what an hour. I almost died back there. What a year. We almost died building all this stuff.
It's really incredible to see it all come together. A new modern foundation with Jakarta EE, content promotion solved.
Yeah, and a stunning CMS that's powerful for devs and simple for marketers. A flexible commerce engine that makes B2B feel like B2C.
It's got strategic new partnerships, a more open and powerful marketplace ecosystem, not to mention cloud native and the AI Hub.
Yeah, this is the 2025 Liferay platform, and we have built it for you.
So we want to give a huge thanks to everyone that participated. This was like herding cats for a while, but I think we pulled it off. So thank you, Marco. Misael, Alex, John, Luis, Julia, and Bernard for joining us. And thank you all.
Thank you. So during these 2 days, we have so much more for you. The sessions are just starting. Our sponsor booths are open over there. So go learn, build, and connect. Thank you, and welcome to Devcon.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Devcon.